Hi everyone, it's Meredith, and I'm going to give you such a great video today. You're not going to want to miss this video. And this is going to apply to your life for all of 2023 until May 25th, 2024. We are going to talk about Jupiter moving into Taurus and what it means for you. And I've got my little Taurus kitty cat with me to help me out with this video. She does not leave my side. Anyways, this video is going to be different than the other videos that you see. Why? Because when other astrologers that I have found that have done their Jupiter and Taurus videos, they're doing it based on your rising sign. And if you don't know your rising sign, this is difficult. But I want you to think about this in two different ways. One, I'm going to tell you what Jupiter and Taurus means for the world at large and how it's probably going to show up in your own life. Then the second thing I'm going to do, so we can actually be accurate, is I'm going to go through all 12 houses. So I want you to get out your charts and I want you to look to see where you have 0 degrees Taurus. Jupiter is going to go through all 29 degrees and it's going to retrograde a few times. But I want you to see where the 0 degrees Taurus is in your chart, because for the next 3 months, this starts on the 16th of May, wherever you have 0 degrees Taurus is lit up in your chart. And those are the themes that I want you to think about, because this is how Jupiter and Taurus is going to affect you immediately. Now, if you have a planet between 0 and 10 degrees Taurus, this is going to massively affect that planet. So everything that I tell you about what Jupiter and Taurus means, I want you to integrate that personal planet of yours in your natal chart that sits between 0 and 10 degrees Taurus, that planet's meaning into the definition I give you, because that planet will be activated with Jupiter and Taurus's energy. And it's no small thing. It's actually a really big deal. This is going to bring a lot of abundance to this place in your chart. If you haven't already gotten your gorgeous natal chart from me, go buy one at soulnavigation.com. Just click on the shop tab and you too can go get your gorgeous natal chart. They're so easy to read. They're inexpensive. They're worth it. You can laminate it and use dry erase marker on it with all my videos. This is a really important shift in our cosmos and in our lives. If you have your sun between 0 and 10 degrees, I'm talking about your whole identity. If you have your moon there, I'm talking about your heart. If you have your Mercury there, I'm talking about the shift around your mind. If you have your Venus there, I'm talking about the shifts that are going to take place around your value system, about your self-worth, and about your love life and about your money. If you have your Mars there, I'm talking about your energy, your physicality, the way you move through life and what you want to spend time acting upon. If you've got your Jupiter in Taurus, well, cha-ching, this is like let good luck and abundance rain down on you, because you're having a Jupiter return. So your whole life wants to be expansive. If you have Saturn there, this is being able to probably finance your dreams. This is an ability to probably put your money where your mouth is, where you can really rise up in your own status, your own authority, your own wealth, your own hard work will pay out now. Let's go talk about a little bit what this even means, okay? So hold on to your hat. You're going to feel the shift, but we are shifting out of Aries energy into Taurus energy. So we're kind of like downshifting a little bit because we're going into a more subtle energy. However, we do have Uranus there. Uranus is currently sitting at 19 degrees Taurus. That's pretty far away from the 0 degrees Taurus, where Jupiter will be on the 16th of May. So Uranus and Jupiter will conjunct exact on April 17th, 2024. So it's a long time. However, we will start to feel the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction prior to the exact conjunction, but it's only there for a short bit. And that's going to be a really interesting time. And I think that's a whole different video. Right now, for everybody, for all 12 signs, all 12 houses, it doesn't matter where you have your Taurus energy. What Jupiter is saying to you is, let's make a new plan. Let's get real. Quit being pissed off. Let's quit having, so much energy that we spin in circles with all this ambition and this passion. Let's slow things down and let's do quality over quantity. Let's make a new plan. Let's get a new project on board. There is an ambition around building something and growing something. There is a desire to expand our money in a way that creates safety and security, that creates investment. There's a little bit of a saver in us rather than a spender. There's also a desire for a newfound fortune. I will tell you that Taurus is the sign of beauty, wealth, self-esteem, self-worth, money. Jupiter in Taurus can yield big wealth, big security, a big saving, a big, fat, juicy savings plan. This is a very good time to look into your financial standing, reevaluate your budget, and make a new commitment around how you're going to spend your money and how you're going to save your money. So there's a real opportunity starting on the 15th of May to really grow your money tree. Go buy your bamboo. I want you to think of yourself as planting your money tree. I want you to get really pragmatic around nurturing your money tree, fertilizing your money tree, pruning your money tree. Like maybe you really want to go get a tree and plant it so it's symbolic. I want you to think about your plans taking root. When a planet moves into a new sign, we call it an ingress. It creates a whole new cycle. It births a whole new chapter, a whole new cycle. And this, because it's Jupiter, is creating a whole new belief system for yourself. So what you believed in prior to May 15th and what you will believe in are kind of two different things. And just watch the subtle change and the subtle shift around your belief systems. They are going to change, and you're going to learn a lot of new things that's going to create new insights, because during this time of the ingress, the change of signs, we have Uranus and we have Mercury both in Taurus, and those are the higher mind. That's the mind and the higher mind activated. While this is in an earth sign, there is a mental awareness. Your higher mind wants to be activated right now. That conscientious higher mind is creating a new belief system. So what new things are you learning? These new things that are coming into your life, these new things that you are learning are actually shape-shifting your mind, your perspective. I just want you to know that this is an earth sign, but this is going to come through the mind. Your belief system is going to change around many subject matters, but probably your relationships, probably how to build love, probably what real love really is and what love is not. You're probably also going to learn a lot about money, how to invest, what to invest in. You're probably, when Jupiter was in Aries, we took chances, we took bets, we probably bought crypto. I didn't, but you probably did. Everybody did, right? Until we met Sam Friedman, whatever his name was. There was a lot of passion around get rich quick. Well, now Taurus is like, how can I build a steady income for myself? And so there's more security. It isn't about getting rich tonight. It's about building wealth and growing wealth. Jupiter in Taurus is not as carefree as Jupiter in Aries. Craves security and safety more than passionate, spontaneous, roll the dice, play at the craps table. You don't find Jupiter in Taurus in Vegas. You find Aries in Jupiter in Vegas and Sagittarius in Jupiter in Vegas. There's something about having a predictable, steady income with solid benefits in order to have the exchange of peacefulness in my life. And Taurus in Jupiter also believes in simplifying. So it doesn't want to be exhausted. It doesn't want to use up all its resources. It wants to slow down and have the time to smell the roses. It's easier to stop and smell the roses if you have a steady income. If you're in a frantic panic about how am I going to make my next dollar? How am I going to make my next dime? You don't have time to stop and smell the roses. A solid sense of security allows you the freedom to stop to smell the roses. There's sort of a spiritual aspect to this financial reward. Money buys me peace. Money buys me freedom. You know how they say money doesn't buy me happiness? Well, it sure does pay the bills, which then buys you happiness. So there is a spiritual relationship to money that can create a sense of solidness within yourself. So whatever planets you have Taurus in, they are craving this security, this stability, this new program, this new relationship to money, to love, to beauty, to peace, to nature, to harmony, and to food. Okay, Jupiter is very interesting because I think Jupiter is the inspiration to every action that we take. The actions that we take in our life and our life force energy is found in Mars. But what you believe in, what you truly believe in, the set of convictions that you have inside of you is the part of you that is motivated to take the action. If you were like me and you walked in the Women's March 5 years ago or 7 years ago. You walked in that march because there was a belief system, inside of doing that march. You got me? That's Jupiter. So Jupiter, I think, is the activist inside of you, and it's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's the reason why you chose the partner that you did, or the religion that you did. It's the reason why you eat the food you eat. It's the reason why you protested. It's the reason why you made your kids' school lunch the way you made it. These reasons, these motivations, these inspirations, this belief system, this search for the Holy Grail, in this part of your chart, wherever you have 0 degrees Taurus at this time, 0 to 10 degrees is affected, is lit up starting May 15th until next year, May 25th, 2024, is being activated in you. When Jupiter was in Aries, we saw the protest in France. We saw 10,000 kids taking to the streets in Tennessee around gun control. We saw protests in Israel. We saw the evacuations in Sudan. And we saw the war in Ukraine. So Jupiter in Aries is aggressive. It's balls out. It's bold. It takes a chance. It speaks up. It will not sit down. It is boisterous. It is ready to fight. And it is loud. And it fights for whatever it believes in. It is ferocious. It is passionate. It is urgent. It is in your friggin' face. It is the bully, and it is the great protector. It is the heckler in the audience that is obnoxious, and it is also the maverick that is unafraid to go into the burning building and save everybody. So it's a freaking badass. You just hope it's on your side. Now moving into Taurus, it is loud. It's in a fixed sign. It has more of a stable, steady, locked in, slower but strong, like a bull, momentum to it. So it's slow and steady and fixed in its pursuit. So now we are all focused on this part of our chart around building a quality life for ourselves. So if you have this in, we'll go through the houses, but for example, if you have this in the 10th house, you want a quality career. You don't want just any job, and you don't want just anybody working for you if you own the company. If this is your moon, well, this is about emotional relationships that have quality, substance, steadiness, security in it, right? You're not just looking for passion. You might be looking for a more sustainable job, a long-term relationship, building a family, planting roots, making a long-term investment, preserving yourself, preserving your lineage, your energy, your family, creating a long-lasting home, creating longevity in your home, wanting a new relationship with food so you can create a long-living life, or a workout program, or a health program, or a financial program. It's your savings plan for life, metaphorically, and you will move a little more slowly and a little bit more thoughtfully. Tauruses can be gluttons, and so you could have a tendency, depending where it is in your own chart, to spend, spend, and spend. And you may even, depending where this is in your chart, and you have to be careful for this next year, you may have, especially when Jupiter was in Aries, to have created a life of living financially beyond your means, having financial excess. So be careful, because this could create a real problem for you. Usually Jupiter in Taurus attracts wealth, and we usually are disciplined to save right now. But with Aries, you might have overspent, and so now you have to save. I will tell you, though, that sometimes Jupiter in Taurus, especially if you have it in a big opposition to another planet in your chart, or square in your chart, or if it's crossing your rising sign, it can bring financial gluttony. So I want you to really make a commitment to yourself not to waste your money, and to carefully choose your investments and make sure that you are being wise. Jupiter really does want to grow your money, but sometimes when we grow our money, we grow our spending, like, oh, I'll go buy that new car I don't really need. Be careful right now. One of the ways in which I have found Jupiter to work well with generosity creates more generosity. Be generous with your energy, your time, your love, your essence, your money, and watch it bounce back to you. Good things happen to good people. I think Jupiter in Taurus is also about creating abundance and love and nurturance for the earth and for animals and other people. Remember that Taurus is a Venus sign. So I want you to also think about, there might be a real abundance or a revitalization around the art and the design and the colors and the fabrics in your life, the taste, the touch, the smell. I bought these beautiful candles because I want this smell in my house. That's no small thing, walking into a beautiful home, even if it's a simple home, that smells lovely, looks clean, looks pretty. There is an abundance around beautifying your home, beautifying yourself, making yourself smell good, look good, and your home too, and your car. So detailing your car right now, detailing your home, spring cleaning your home, creating the creature comforts. There's an abundance in that. You also might just flat out invest in art. I also think the food industry is going to have some really big shifts right now. I know Americans want better food. We want to say, quit poisoning us with these stupid ass chemicals that create cancer. What the hell are you doing to our bread? It's just god awful. So maybe we will see a little bit of a stronger focus because the belief system around these subject matters are changing. Maybe you never really cared about having a clean house. Well, now you might be like, wow, I really want to beautify my home. I'm really sick of all this clutter. I'm sick of living like a hoarder. I'm really sick of our food. And maybe you're going to stop buying food that comes in a box. Your whole belief system could really shift around these different subject matters. So there's a couple gorgeous things that are happening right on the 16th of May that Jupiter is going to come into a sextile with Saturn at 6 degrees Pisces. And it's going to be there for quite a while. It's going to be there until late June. When you have that Jupiter and Saturn, it's very interesting because I told you about there's this spiritual aspect as well, right? If you can step into a spiritual wisdom around your money, around your financial investments, it's like you can gain in the physical world. So it's a very interesting alignment. I also want to say that Jupiter is going to immediately square Pluto on the 16th, and Jupiter-Pluto squares create big power. I mean, enormous power. This Jupiter is going to show us what we believe in around the people who hold the power. We're going to probably see an abuse of power. We're probably going to see power and corruption around money. We're probably going to have corporate shakeups, just to be honest, because that's Pluto, corporate, and it's square to Jupiter. We're probably going to see gluttony. And I mean, I think this also could be the economy, but I think it's much bigger than that. I think we're going to step into sort of a spiritual crisis, if you will, a moral crisis where we really question, are we morally bankrupt? Are we? It's not just being bankrupt, it's are we morally bankrupt? And what can we do about it? That's going to be right at the forefront of this. When Jupiter squares Pluto, it is sort of the billionaire beauty mark. It is what makes billionaires, all that pressure and tension. It can also bring you to your knees. Hold on tight. I think we are going to transform our sensory. I really do. I think many of us are going to become psychic, intuitive. We're going to be able to see different spirits, different angels, maybe the elementals. Did you guys watch my last video where I talked about the elementals? Yeah, that was in my May transits video. And I think we're going to see that we're literally going to transform sort of the earthbound world a little bit. More and more of us will. And we're going to ascend. We're really stepping into that fifth dimension. We're stepping into our sixth sense. And you will see more and more people are open to the psychic arts. More and more people are open to astrology. I can't believe it. If you would have told me that, 75,000 people were going to watch my YouTube channel about astrology, you would have told me that 20 years ago, I would have just died laughing. When I first opened up my business, I had 8 clients and I was ecstatic that I had 8 clients. Now I have more than 10,000 clients in 23 countries. It's just shell-shocking. And so I think that the heart is opening, but there's a spiritual awareness. So let's talk a little bit about where you have 0 to 10 degrees Taurus in your chart. So if you have 0 degrees Taurus to 10 degrees Taurus on your ascendant and moving down into your first house, what I want to tell you is your whole entire perception of yourself and your life and who you want to be in the world is going to take a major change in course. So there's going to be a whole new direction in your life. There's going to be a complete change in who am I in the world? And I think you're going to see that there is also a beautification process. So there's something about you that wants to get your physical body into its beauty or into peaceful harmony. So for example, if your body is too, let's say, heavy. There is a part of you that wants to get that balanced. If you feel like you have just sort of physically been invisible, this is a time where your belief system says, no longer, I want to dress in a way or present myself in a way that is seen. So when you have Jupiter in the first, you want to be seen. I will also tell you this is a very regal year for you. And this is a year where you can turn from a prince into a king or a princess into a queen. So this is your queen's reign. So this is when you get the crown and you put it on your head, you boss yourself, you own yourself, and you become your own authority. I will tell you to be a little bit careful because you are prone to weight gain right now because your physical body is going to expand. So if you don't want that to happen, do whatever you need to do to make that not happen. But your physicality can expand, but so can your light and your energy. You will be a force to be reckoned with. You will probably find a new abundance about life. There will be a spiritual element to the way that you show up in the world every day because we've got Neptune and Saturn in Pisces that are working with this Jupiter in Taurus, which is gorgeous. There is a power approach to you. I think you're going to step into confidence, abundance, and good luck. There is a part of you that will probably change your beliefs dramatically around food and how you present yourself, how you say hello, your presentation to life. You could be so radical. This is Taurus rising or Taurus in the first house, 0 to 10 degrees. You could even be like, screw this, I'm out of here. I am doing my whole identity differently. The first house, it's pretty loud. It's pretty big. So if you have Taurus 0 to 10 degrees, and I'm just saying 0 to 10 because this is immediately what's happening. This is about your money. This is about your self-esteem and your self-worth. I also want to tell you that this is about investments, the investments that you make in your own financial portfolio, in your savings account. You know, I'm teaching my daughter, she's a hostess at a restaurant, and she has to save 30% by giving it to me because I'm her savings account. She has to save 30% of every paycheck, and I will give that money back to her when she's in college. It's very important to invest long-term in yourself, even if it's just $5. The second house does sort of rule your savings account, and also how do you gain self-esteem? You know, I can't give you self-confidence. I can't give you self-esteem. You have to grow it. Where do you grow your self-esteem? There's only one way to grow self-esteem, and that is by taking risks, doing new things, and taking on challenges. So we need Taurus-like challenges, secure challenges. You know, I'm not saying go bungee jumping. Take on a challenge that is doable, that's worth your time, your effort, and your energy, and tackle it. You'll grow your self-esteem. What challenge are you taking on that's growing your self-esteem? The second house also is saying to you, Spirit wants to grow your money. So I said this in a different video. I can't remember which video it was, but it was like, do you believe, this is for my second house Tauruses, do you believe money grows on trees? Answer that question. Do you believe money grows on trees? Well, I said no. And then the person who was conducting this exercise said, of course money grows on trees. Have you not heard of an olive tree? Have you not heard of an apple tree? Have you not heard of an orange tree, a grapefruit tree? Of course money grows on trees. What kind of tree are you going to invest in? What are you going to do with your investment? You might need new work, might invest in real estate or property or land with this placement. There are riches that want to find you, that want to show you you are of value. So I would suggest to my second house Tauruses to ask for a raise, even though the economy is shit, even though nobody's getting raises, everyone's getting laid off. Ask for a raise. Figure out a way where you can make a little bit more money. Okay, if you have Taurus 0 to 10 degrees in your third house, I want to tell you that your mental perspective wants to change. Your whole mind wants to change. You probably want to learn something new. You probably are seeing your siblings or your cousins differently. You might be disappointed. You also might embark upon a forgiveness program with your siblings. There could be some good luck that comes to you. Your belief system is changing and altering around your siblings. You probably have Saturn on the ascendant. So this is a real grow up moment for you. This whole year is going to mature you around the way you think, the way you express yourself, the way you communicate. So you're going to really step into the regalness of your voice. And I also want to tell you that I kind of think this house is a little bit of an ADD house. You're going to be a very busy person, and I think you're going to be taking on boatloads of responsibility. You have a real opportunity here, just because of where Saturn is in your chart, to really massively grow yourself, to really ascend, to step into deep, deep wisdom, learning new things. I want to tell you that this is a real fascinating place for Jupiter to be, because this is like when you get brilliant, when you get smart. The way that you communicate is differently. You probably, because there's a spiritual element with that Pisces, Neptune, Saturn on your ascendant, there's a spiritual element to your belief system right now, and articulating from that altruism and that space of love. This is a real opportunity for this whole year to step into the largeness, the gargantuan ability that you have to forgive. Forgive your siblings, forgive your neighbors, forgive your cousins, to learn the art of forgiveness and to learn how to actually express, like verbally express forgiveness. If you are a singer or a writer or a YouTuber or a presenter and you have Taurus in the third house, with Jupiter being there, this could be your big year. You could get published, you could get noticed, you could get notoriety. Taurus loves being in the fourth house because it likes to make things comfortable. And so there is sort of an optimism or an inspiration to make your home and make your personal life and make yourself more comfortable. I also want to tell you, this is the house of a deep psychic and intuitive awareness. So you could really receive really deep messages right now. I want to tell you that you should keep a dream journal and a dream diary, and you should really work with your crown chakra, your third eye, and really tap into your psychic and intuitive abilities right now. You could really become a reader. You could become a healer. There is a gargantuan love placement with this. You might really be learning this year about altruistic love, the kind of love that is a mother's love for a child, love that nurtures. I also will tell you that your mama might need you. You might recreate your belief system, your truth around your relationship with your mom or your family or your heritage or your roots. This would be a great time for you to dig into Ancestry.com and learn about your heritage and your roots. I also want to tell you that this is a cool opportunity to understand the history of your culture. And I say that because that's what Jupiter does. It's in search of the Holy Grail, and it loves understanding cultures and religions and different people. And when it is in the fourth house and it is in Taurus and it's in Cancer's house, it kind of wants to understand, who was I? Who am I inside of this culture? And it kind of wants to explore, who am I not in other cultures. So there is a desire to go beyond my own home and understand, how was I raised? What are my privileges? What were not my privileges? How was I to understand my place in society at a deeply philosophical level? And how does that shape you? I really love Gen Z and even millennials, but the Gen Zers in my life, because wow, they make me think of things I'd never even thought before. I think that this is very much like Jupiter in the fourth. For example, I never even had the question before 2 Thanksgivings ago that Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, might not be a great thing. Never even thought such a thing, except 2 years ago, started to think such a thing, because I started to really look at the meaning of Thanksgiving. What are we giving Thanksgiving for? And the heritage and the history around Thanksgiving. I'm not saying to believe or not to believe. I'm just giving you an example of how Jupiter in the fourth house, right? Jupiter in Taurus in the fourth house, because Taurus is about food. Jupiter, belief system around my culture, whatever your culture is, and reevaluating it, or at least being open to new ideas, new perceptions. What's my religion? What religion was I born into? What religion do I believe in? So these are like the deepest truths about you that you were born into: customs, culture, heritage, roots, foundation, family. Where did it get a little effed up? It's a big question. It's a big fat question. Please don't leave any nasty comments or remarks on my page. I'm just giving you examples of how Jupiter in the fourth house wants to understand its place in society and will have a change around its belief system. I've asked myself personally a lot of questions around, how have I ignorantly added to a problem or helped a problem? That's this placement. I will also say, and you'll hear many astrologers talk about your home and your house is going to expand and your family could expand. You might get pregnant. You might have another baby. You could put an addition onto your home. You could buy a new home. All that's true. But it is so much deeper than that. It is about the internal, deepest part of your soul inside of here, and how inside of here wants to align with society out here. It is this deeply personal belief system down when nobody's even looking. Nobody's telling you to reevaluate who you are being in the world and in your society, in your culture. Those questions are going to start to find you on your For You page, or your little Gen Zer in your life is going to ask you a question in a way that's like, I didn't know I was being rude. I didn't know I was inappropriate. I didn't know I did that bad thing. That's Jupiter in the fourth. It will have you question where you came from and why you talk and speak and have the protocols and the customs that you have. Also, your mama might become really important or bigger in your life. Like all of a sudden your mom's over here. Oh, your mom has to move into your basement because she doesn't feel well, right? She's having health problems. Jupiter in the fifth house. Who doesn't love this? This is about your joy, your self-expression, your happiness, all of that growing. It's also about your children. So your beliefs around putting more joy into your life are going to switch right now. And there's going to be an abundance and a generosity around the playfulness in your life. I also want to tell you, if you are a creative person, that your creativity can become explosive and expansive. So this is the time to sing your song, try out for your Broadway show, paint your canvas, do your pottery, whatever. This is like so massively creative. Put yourself out there. I want to tell you that you are going to get the confidence. You are going to wear your crown, and around who am I? This is the house that says, this is me. This is who I am. And you will become sort of a more creative, flashy, splashy, flamboyant version of yourself with Jupiter here, a more confident version of yourself. But there will be a pop and a sizzle and a little bit more of a light, bright light with this. And there's going to be a desire to express yourself. I think you're going to feel like, wow, I just haven't expressed myself. I don't want to be invisible. This is a lot like the first house. My presentation is going to be different. I also want to tell you that there is some sort of luck and abundance and generosity with your children. So if you've had a rough couple of years with your kids, this is when you can get it all back again. And again, there's a spiritual aspect to this Jupiter in Taurus because of the Pisces planets in the chart with Neptune and Saturn. And so there's some sort of transcendence with your kids. There's some sort of building in the intangibles. So it's not just about buying them an iPhone, or it's not just about being a wallet to your kids, but you're going to teach them about hope, faith, love, confidence, self-worth, self-empowerment. I am somebody. I am important. I am of value. I am love. I am seen. I am unique. I am creative, right? And I'm talking about the child. Like the child is going to understand your messaging. I also want to tell you that this is a fun year for you. So what lights your life up? What makes you happy? What thing can you create out of nothing? So you don't have the thing right now and you're going to create the thing. This is the house of creation. This is the house of life. This is the house literally of birth, the fifth house, because the sun rules this house and the sun creates life. So what new thing, what new program are you going to create? This is also the house of love affairs. So there could be an abundance of love and sex and romance and love affairs in your life. So this is just so joyful. Let's talk about the sixth house. I think you're going to have a new belief system, and I hope it's not because you have to. I hope it's because you want to, around your health and wellness. This is when you buy the Peloton, and put it in your living room, or the rowing machine. This is when you really need to put your health at the forefront. And I want to tell you, your relationship to food and wellness, vitamins, is really, really critical. Get the tests done that you've been procrastinating. Colonoscopy, mammogram, right? All of it. Get your tests. I mean, I'm going in to get a CAT scan on my arteries, right? Why? Because one of my relatives got it done and it didn't come out so well. So I'm like worried about me. Yeah, I look healthy, but we don't know. We don't know. So get your test. If you've got Jupiter transiting your sixth house, it's when health and wellness is at the forefront, and you're really going to change your program around it. You watch, you're going to change your program around it. I want to tell you, your daily routine is going to change. And you also could get more small pets. Is that happening to you? I also want to tell you, you could have a career change or a work change where you change out your job, your responsibilities and duties change out. I also want to tell you that there's a forgiveness around your flaws. Jupiter in the 6th house, I will tell you, it is one of my favorite placements. My editor has this placement. I love Jupiter in the 6th house because these people they are in such service to other people. They care about people. They are perfectionists. And when Jupiter is there, I do think that there is a tendency for all of that to be heightened, to serve more, to be more perfect and all that. But because we've got Pisces, the spiritual element here, you might relax that a little bit. You might see that your flaws make you adorable. You might see that the mistakes are actually kind of cute bloopers. You might see that true love is found in the mistakes, in the shortcomings. Put more optimism into your life. Don't be so critical about yourself. Soften things up. Taurus is about creature comforts. You don't have to be perfect. But I do want you to take care of your health. The 7th house, when Jupiter is in the 7th house, it is opposing your rising sign, but it brings in all kinds of people. You get popular. Yes, people want a piece of you. It's just Britney Spears' song. Everybody wants a piece of me. You can turn into a jigsaw puzzle where you're just giving out pieces of yourself to everyone. So you probably have an abundance or good luck. There's a money magnet. There's a powerful boon for you when it comes to business transactions and love. You could get married. This is a marriage aspect. Tell me if you've met somebody. You could meet somebody. You could meet somebody who is in alignment with your belief system. I will tell you that had you met this person before, that person might not have been in alignment with what you believe in. I will also tell you that you might lose some friends. Remember, we have that square to Pluto, but it's in order to gain more like-minded friends. You also might change your business around, oh, I don't like this location, or I don't want to do it online anymore. I want to change it up and do it this way. So your business model might change. I want to tell you to grow your program around your love life and around your business life, your business relationship and your relationships, because something wants to be altered, something wants to transform, something wants to change. There's a self-improvement around the people you hang out with and the relationships that you engage in. There is some sort of improvement. Get really real with yourself. Be deep in your truth. Do your friends serve you? Do your friends align with you? Did you lose a lot of friends due to COVID beliefs or political beliefs? Build a whole system around love, peace, comfort, and harmony. Find like-minded souls that support you inside the relationship, and it is generous. One thing about Jupiter is it is the most generous planet that we have. So there should be a generosity, a give and take that is more equal. So if you are a codependent in your relationships, forget that. Forget it. Let's talk about Jupiter moving into the 8th house. Well, this can be a blessing and a curse, to tell you the truth. So death can be magnified. I have seen that. My dear friend Rick Levine lives down the street and around the corner from me. I love him dearly. When his partner, Jeff Jar, his business partner, not his love partner, passed away, he said, wow, I didn't look to Pluto. I didn't look to Mars. I looked to Jupiter. Ever since then, I've been looking at Jupiter, and I find it very, very fascinating. So Jupiter sort of takes you out angelically. And when Jupiter enters the 8th, I have seen that there is loss, there is divorce, there is death, there are goodbyes, there is a letting go and a surrendering. Now, that's not for everybody. I can also tell you that there could be a legacy left for you because this is other people's investment in you. And this is oftentimes a legacy. So there could be an abundant amount of money, or there could be just money that was left to you. You could receive some sort of investment in you. If it's not a legacy or an inheritance, it could just be a gift, somebody investing in you, which is kind of cool. I'll also tell you that this is the house of the mystic and the psychic, like the 12th and the 4th. And so you could really come into deep psychic powers. You could develop mediumship, develop understanding the occult, tarot, astrology, Reiki, tuning forks, something. The mystical world could really be abundant in your life and come alive. I want to also tell you that you could be much more open-hearted around your intimacy and around your sexual expression. So if you've been celibate or closed off, if you've been timid, shy, or sort of like you haven't had a partner that you felt like you could open up to, you could really open up your heart more generously inside your sexual expression. That's not for everybody, but that can happen. Let's talk about Jupiter being in its home turf. This is the home game when it returns back to the 9th house. I love this placement. I think this is just so beautiful. And I love 9th house suns for this reason, because they take on these elements. And if you guys want more of this kind of information, watch my videos called Sun Through the Houses. I also really want to recommend to you, you should go get get my child's report, even if you're like me, 56 years old. Can you believe that? Oh my God, I'm on the other side of double nickels. I'm getting up there. Sometimes I really can see it and I'm like, whoa, just yesterday I felt like I was 21. I'm stepping into my wise woman years. The child's report is so damn delicious. It is so good. And it shows you the child in you, but it shows you your temperament from birth. And without this report, I'd be a terrible mother. I'm just going to tell you right now, you should have this for every single child in your life, but you should get it for you. I don't care how old you are. It is so delicious and so good. And it will talk to you about all your placements. And it is very deep and it is so rewarding. And when I read it, what it did for me was it gave me so much compassion for the young woman that I was. And it allowed me to see myself more accurately today. So it's just so good. Back to Jupiter in the 9th house. Jupiter in the 9th house is kind of childlike because this is Tigger in Winnie the Pooh's house and Jupiter is Tigger. There is a desire to travel, to understand other cultures. You are going to have an upgrade in life. Like, who am I and who do I want to be in the world? There is a part of you that wants to explore the world, see the world, understand the world through food, through music, through travel, through culture, through history. You are in search of the truth for life this year, and you, my friend, will probably find it. You will find your holy grail. You are going to ask the biggest questions about yourself, and you are on a self-improvement kick. So 1 year from now, you are going to be the upgraded version of yourself. Every part of your life is probably going to be optimistically and more generously upgraded. There will be a change in what you believe in. You might let go of a religion. You might let go of the drivers in your life, and you might choose new ones. This is your Eat, Pray, Love book coming to life. Who read that book? And oh my God, if you didn't read that book, you need to read that book because that is this year for you. Finding yourself, the who am I? Why was I born to be? What are my gifts? What are my skills? What are my talents? Who am I in this world? Why do I matter? Why do I exist? All the philosophical questions. And you will actually answer those questions this year. It's exciting. If this is in your 10th house, get ready because your legacy and your career will be made this year. I'm excited. Are you? So there's a leveling up as far as who you're going to be in your career and in the magnificence of your legacy. This is the year where you will stand on the stage, get rid of small thinking. You will play full out and big in your legacy and your career. This is the year that you turn into your greatest self, your greatest accomplishments, your greatest self. You were here 12 and a half years ago. So what were you doing in 2011? And how did you change your system to improve your life or improve your legacy, improve your calling, improve your mission? So this is a new mission statement. It could have the same theme, but it's going to change. It's going to elevate you. This is your new mission that you're putting forth that you will most likely find a tremendous amount of success around. But I got to tell you one thing, it has to have a spiritual element to it. So it needs to be jam-packed, filled with integrity, with altruism, with love. I always say, I like to pay people in love. And I do. And I get in trouble doing that sometimes because not everybody wants that currency. There is something about really building I don't think I want to say fortress. That's more like the 4th house. I want to say empire. You're building your empire this year and it's going to sprinkle down on you and rain on you. I'm so excited. I'm just so damn excited. Like, what the hell are you doing with your life? I can't wait to hear. Tell me. Also, I want you guys to be a super supporter. You can do it at the lowest level for just $2.99, or you can do it at the higher level and you get more benefits and more perks for $19.99. But if you even become a super supporter, you get all my behind the scenes videos and it puts 6 cents a day into my pocket and it helps me do these videos. But I really want you to learn deeper astrology with me. So I go a little bit deeper and I do those monthly, and I hope you love those videos. I absolutely love this community so much and I love having you here. The 11th house. When Jupiter is in the 11th house, it's activating your highest mind. The 11th house is so friggin' brilliant. If you have a lot of planets in the 11th house, I'm telling you right now, you're probably not even built for this earth because we're all too dumb for you. I just wonder if you know that or if you feel that way. Do you feel like we're all a bunch of slow dummies? So you're going to be vast and wide, fast processor. And if you have planets there, it's really fast. past. So you're going to have sort of a mental cataclysmic shift and change. You probably are going to become interested in more esoteric or mystical subjects, also humanity, saving the earth, saving the planet, saving the animals, saving those who need your assistance and help. You might see that the great humanitarian in you is activated. You might want to go on a pilgrimage or a vacation, work vacation, where you go to Costa Rica to save the rainforest, but it's a vacation, but it's a work vacation, or you go to Mexico to work in the orphanage. That's this house. So somehow, and you might even change out your purpose in life, because there's a big purpose in life with groups and organizations. You might join Habitat for Humanity, be a volunteer at the dog rescue center, go work in the volunteer army in the war in Ukraine. Whatever your gift is around contributing to the advancement and the betterment of society, that's happening right now. So this is not a small house. This is also downloads of brilliant insight. You're not even going to know what hit you. This is the house where lightning strikes, thunder rolls too. You're creating a revolution, but it's not out of anger. It's out of, I bring peace. I bring generosity. I bring love to you. This house can be a little bit evangelical, not necessarily with religion at all, but in what I believe in. You know, I want to get plastic out of the ocean, and you just go start picking up all the bottles. This is the activist. How are you, in a personal way, changing your life to get it more closely on your terms to benefit yourself and others and advance yourself? So if you're not all into humanity, I bet you're into improving your own life and getting your family, getting your life, getting your loved ones in a way that advances them in their truth, in their uniqueness, not in their money, not in their wallet, not in their job, in the truth of who they are or in the truth of who you are. And you will see that you're going to join new groups and new organizations that support you in your cause for either yourself, humanity, the world at large, or those who are in need. You could run for political office because you believe so boldly in what your mission is and how to fix the problems in society. This house creates a revolution, but this is sort of a spiritual revolution. Now, if you have Jupiter in the 12th house, I have this placement natally, and I will tell you, I love it. It is extraordinarily deep. This is a spiritual download. There even can be a little bit of an overwhelming feeling of a connection to source or spirit. I'll tell you that there is an imagination that wants to be let loose. There is the most colorful world you have ever seen with this placement. There is a feeling of a presence of God inside of you and around you. Your spiritual belief system is going to significantly alter itself right now. Your dreams will become reality. Your reality will become your dreams. You will believe truthfully, probably, in the fairy tale of life. So it's a little bit fragile here. Jupiter loves being in the 12th house. It belongs in the 12th house. It also belongs in the 9th house. It's the tenant of both of those houses. But there is a deep, deep awareness of how fragile life really is. So with this placement, I want to say this is an inside job. This is sort of a secret inside job, and the work is done very privately. Jupiter in the 12th house does make you a private person. It also makes you a great secret keeper because you understand the sanctity of secrets. So people could really confide in you for absolutely no reason. Like, why are they pouring their heart out to me? Hold those secrets in a sacred place if somebody does spill all their truths out to you. I want to tell you that this is a deeply spiritual transformative placement. You're not going to receive the abundance necessarily through financial gain or through a career change or even a relationship gain, through your own spiritual development, through the depth of understanding the truth about you and the cosmos, not just the earth, but the entire cosmos, the entire planetary soulscape of life. And you also might find that there is an ability to really understand death and the process of where does the soul live after it leaves this earth. There is an existential quality to this. This is a very hard placement to actually use English words because the English words are so limited for this boundless, gargantuan, spiritual, epiphany that you're about to have. It's almost like during this next year, you could answer the question, who is God? What is God? Is there a heaven? What is a soul? What is a twin flame? All the mystical questions. So this is a very mystical time in your life. And this is when you can also get your spiritual download. So if you do have sort of a predisposition a little bit to the psychic world, this could really open up for you at this time when this is transiting through the 12th house. I want you to know that this work or these downloads or these shifts around your new belief system could really happen in such a subtle way that nobody even sees them. You might not even know it's happening, but it is happening. But it's transformation at the deepest level, sort of invisible, maybe to yourself even. You might even be feeling like, gosh, nothing's happening. I'm just feeling a little bit melancholy, or I'm feeling like life is a little bit fragile or bittersweet. This is poetry brewing inside of you. So what is your poem? What is your song? I think Jupiter transiting the 12th house is the songwriter in you. And again, I say that metaphorically. Your life is going to become extraordinarily symbolic. And I want you to look for the symbols and the symbolism in everything that you do, because spirit is going to talk to you in a loud way. But if you're not looking, you might not get it. I want you to know the symbols are the language of spirit. So they don't come in and say, oh, Meredith, you need to brush your teeth right now. You forgot to brush your teeth this morning. They speak to you in symbols around what really matters. And what you think matters is not what really even matters. You're going to learn what actually even really matters. This is a deepening around your ability to love. Love yourself, people, love your enemies. This house has, I don't want to say it's egoless, but Jupiter is a kind of ego-based planet because it's royal, it's regal. And when it's in the 12th house, it sheds that ego. So you get sort of the benevolent queen or the benevolent king, the wealthy person dressed in a t-shirt and flip-flops and gives all their money away to the food bank, the anonymous donor. You could be this year, truthfully, in a position to really be an earth angel. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'm so excited. Tell me your Jupiter stories. If you are a super supporter or superstar super supporter and you leave a comment, I do try to answer every single one of them. I try my very best, but I'm only one person and I've had a devastating crisis in my life. So the last couple of weeks I've been a little bit slow, but ring the bell so you can come back and put a comment on my comment, because I oftentimes ask you questions too. I just want to say thank you for all your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here for me. And I hope so much you are loving learning with me. And it's still not too late. Come to my retreat, May 19th. Come learn with me for 3 days at my workshop here in downtown Seattle on the waterfront. It's going to be amazing. Come learn astrology. From my house to yours, wherever you are in the world, I wish you the very best.